15 times a charm. Welcome to Talking Thrash, man of my word, universal cat, partially healed, kind of saved. I love you and I love your mama. Welcome to Talking Thrash. I got a question. Is your house in order? Get your house in order because it's flat on one side. Also, pick your Afro daddy because it's flat on one side. Speaking of afros, let's talk about this Tuskegee University outlawing or banning do-rags and bonnets for students. So I had a conversation with a young man about this subject last week, and it comes down to a couple of things. First of all, I have to tell you guys, as a Black person, I'm really torn on the subject because there's so many avenues and aspects that go along with this. Is it saying that you have less care for yourself because you wear a do-rag or a bonnet because you didn't take the time to get ready? Honestly, it's a hair protector. Do-rags help press down your wave so that you can have better looking hair for yourself, whatever that looks like. But I do know that historically negative things come along with do-rags and bonnets. Specifically with do-rags, they have been seen or viewed as you being like a thug or up to no good or something like that, or gang related in the past, mainly because people that wore do-rags, were kind of like out there in that job. But it has more to do with style and what went with your clothing. Then they started making do-rags that didn't have the little flap in the back. And so you just put it over your head. Sorry for the shake. And you just kind of press down your hair so that your waves can come in. Isn't it active against white supremacy to say that we agree that they don't like our hair, so we don't have to like it either? We don't have to like the negative things that come along with what we wear over our head and our hair? Or are we requiring our young Black people to be a little bit more prideful in how they look and their appearance? Yes, people do judge you on how you look, but if you're going to judge the color of somebody's skin, it doesn't even matter what you wear, in my opinion. The dog's barking and I want to cry. The other thing I want to talk about with that is when we go to a club or a bar, we make efforts to look our best. But why can't we do that on campus? Now, back in the day, in the early 2000s, this guy from BT called Hips from the Streets, I think, he used to go to HBCUs and a lot of college campuses where young Black people were present. I remember seeing everybody G'd up, geared up. They made an effort. Even if they were out on campus on the yard, they had on the flyest things. It also showed that they developed a little bit more style away from being in high school, especially when your high school required you to wear uniform. I am noticing, like with the young people now, there's no effort, specifically our people. Everybody looks the same. Everybody wears the same thing. There's no uniqueness. We had levels of being unique when I was young, and now it's like everybody looks the same. So I am torn. I don't think that because white supremacy doesn't understand our hair that they shouldn't comment on it. But I also don't think that requiring our young people to look a little, I wouldn't say better, but a little bit ready in public is not a bad thing. In college, you will be interviewing every day for the rest of your life. A lot of times you're being scouted for programs or internships or the leaders of groups, fraternities, sororities, organizations, and everything. People do judge you based on how you look. Point blank, period. It's up to you if you want to be remembered a certain way. So if you want to be remembered as the girl who had a bonnet on and a tank top, giving a prolific speech, or you want to be remembered as somebody who really got themselves together and, I don't know, put that on. I don't want to sound like I agree with white supremacy when it comes to this because we've always put it on, like, period. But also growing up, we were not allowed to wear do-rags as boys because we knew what came along with how that looked as a stereotype. But I also understand that Black people are highly fashionable and there is no reason for us to not take pride in ourselves. Yes, Monique said it great. Like, get ready at the airport. You don't know who you're going to meet. Sometimes when in a Walmart, you don't have time to do your hair. You just put the bonnet on and be like, I'm going to get some couple things. I'll be right back. But going somewhere else, maybe read the crowd or know what you're getting yourself into. Again, if you can make an effort to do this for a club or an event, you can do it in class on time. But also on the flip side of that, These kids are in college. They barely getting up in enough time to make it to class, some of them, because they're up studying late. The other part is, are people making an effort to really take pride in how they look? Do you really want to step out like that? Or if it's an everyday thing like college, does it really matter? You're just going there for the education and then you're going back to your dorm or your apartment. I think that as a Black community, we should really take a look at what we mean when we say take off the bonnet and a do rag. Are we afraid of what that has brought to us outside of our community and inside of our community? Are we afraid of the lack of opportunity one of our people will miss because they have that? Because at the end of the day, there is still judgment on how you look. Or do we really want the best for our young people and ourselves? Also, let's be clear, are we giving them better examples and good examples of how to present ourselves in public? Because, I mean, if you over 40 and you sagging, that's a problem. That's just my personal opinion, not the opinions of this network. This isn't a network. I just want to throw that out there. Outlawing bonnets and do-rags, like, what are we really saying? That's a question you should be asking yourself, and maybe your administrators, if they outlaw it for you. I know when I was younger, boys couldn't wear hats inside of the building at school, mainly because the hat, depending on how you wore it, meant that you had some kind of gang affiliation. So that was negative. I don't even see any other positive reason why a boy couldn't wear a hat, because girls could, to protect their hair, but it was assumed that boys didn't have hair. So I don't know how I feel about that. I feel very torn on it. I don't think that is a thing from white supremacy that's saying that they should, control how we present ourselves. But I do feel like we do need to make more of an effort in our community, amongst our young people, and also with ourselves. User as them, hello, how are you? I don't have much to say. I'm going to keep doing these. I need to get back into my lives, but thank you for talking thrash with me for 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Have a good day.